Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome to iPad Focus, where we dive into the latest tech news and updates that affect your iPad experience. I'm your host, and today we're talking about a major cybersecurity alert from the Indian government. The Indian Computer Emergency Response Team, CERTN, has issued a high-risk warning for Apple device users, specifically iPhones and iPads running older versions of iOS and iPadOS. This is not just any ordinary security update. It's a critical flaw that could leave your devices open to attack. According to CERTN, the vulnerability is in the Darwin notification system, which allows malicious applications to transmit sensitive notifications without special permissions. If exploited, this means your iPhone or iPad could become completely unresponsive or even non-functional until you perform a full restore. Now, let's take a look at who's affected by this issue. The Indian government has specifically mentioned iPhones running versions prior to iOS 18.3 and iPads running versions before iPadOS 17.7.3 or 18.3, depending on the model. And what about specific device models? Well, if you're rocking an iPhone XS or newer with iOS versions before 18.3, you're at risk. For iPads, it's a bit more complicated. The affected devices include iPad Pro, 2nd generation and later, iPad 6th generation and later, iPad Air 3rd generation and later, and iPad mini 5th generation and later. That's quite a list of popular models from Apple. So, what can you do to protect yourself? Well, the Indian government is urging users to update to the latest version of iOS or iPadOS immediately. And it's not just about updating. Avoid downloading apps from untrusted or unofficial sources, as they might be vulnerable too. Another important step is to stay vigilant and watch for unusual activity on your device, which could signal a breach. This might sound like overkill, but trust me, it's better to be safe than sorry when it comes to cybersecurity. The good news is that Apple has already rolled out security patches to fix the issue. So, what do you need to do? Update to the latest version of iOS or iPadOS, avoid those dodgy apps, and keep a close eye on your device for any suspicious activity. That's all for today's episode of iPad Focus. We'll be back with more tech news and updates that affect your iPad experience. Thanks for tuning in.